Journal subscription to read the source, given that it was relevant to why you support Trump, but because Biden didn't even run for election and Kamala Harris did. This is just all like a side point to detract away from the argument of which I made surrounding how terrible Trump is for the economy and how I got you to concede there.
Not really.
But so yeah, go spend your porn star money on WSJ, right?
And just wait till he releases 100 million barrels of oil.
A question. Why won't you go spend all your porn star money on the Wall Street Journal?
Hey, Dean, last time you did that, I had 4 girls wanted to watch my videos. I appreciate it. Thanks for promoting me again this time.
Yeah, so just go spend some of your porn star money on the Wall Street Journal. Go do it.
Sure, but you got 5
Okay, go on pause. Go do it. Perfect. Go on pause. By the way, you.
You just don't want to know the truth, Dean.
Just, I do. That's why I'm asking you to go get a Wall Street Journal subscription so you can read it straight from the source.
Why would you trust me? That's a trust me, bro. Just pay the $5.
I'm not going to trust you. I'm going to ask you to screenshot it and put it back on live the same way that you're doing right now.
See, it sounds like you just don't want to know the truth so you can lie to your fans the whole time.
If I didn't want to know the truth, then I want to be asking you to go screenshot the original article to put it on screen, dumbass.
But if I don't do it, you're not going to go research the truth yourself, dumbass.
Well, you're the one that's making the claim, and you're the one that has to give the evidence, dumbass.
Dean, you lost.
I haven't lost by asking you for evidence.
13,000 people, if they do their own due diligence, maybe 25% of them will, but they're going to find out you've been lying.
I haven't lost by asking you to get the evidence for your claim. Listen, honestly, I don't understand why this conversation has taken as long as it has. The 2 points here. Oh, you actually just got a ban for misinformation. That's funny. But anyways, the 2 points here that I was trying to communicate, which should be very simple and should have a unilateral agreement to with everyone, not just people on the left, is that AI overviews are unreliable and you need to provide evidence for your claim. So if you want to cite a Wall Street Journal article saying that, you know, Biden X, Y, or Z, then just come with a screenshot of the Wall Street Journal article. I'm just not willing to trust an AI overview because I know that AI overviews are very frequently incorrect. Like anyone knows this. Anyone that uses Google knows this. You know, you go to Google, you type in a question, and then you'll get like the articles in response that are relevant to the question, and then the AI overview. And it's like 75% of the time, the AI overview says something completely different than what all the articles say, just because AI is unreliable. So, of course, I'm going to ask you for a direct source from the article in which you're citing, not what ChatGPT thinks your source says. Do you support Trump? Hello? You are about 1 billion years away from your microphone. Sorry, dude, I got to disconnect you. Super quiet mic, registering at like 2 decibels. Let's go to move on to the next guest right now. Only up inside of the queue if you happen to be MAGA.
Jump in.
Hi, do you support Trump?
Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the request.
No worries, you take care. Moving on to the next guest. Appreciate you. We got, let's see here. MOS loading up into the box. Gail, appreciate you for the $5 on Venmo. Says paywall workaround. Copy and paste the link into this website, archive.ph. Works for any paywall. Appreciate you, Gail. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that information. I'll definitely be using that in the future. Aaron, ERIN, thank you for the $10. Who says, meanwhile, Trump called Gavin Newsom president yesterday. I know, right? Thank you for the $10. Juliana, thank you for the $10. Who says, celebrating voting in the midterm primaries. Let's go. I really hope that we see some more progressives blue in the Senate this year. I know, right? Thank you so much for the support, Juliana. And then Carrie, thank you so much for the $50 donation over on Venmo again. Carrie, you were so very kind.
Oh my
Let's
God.
get 500 Carrie W's down below in that comment section. Carrie with a $50 says, forgot to send you some for Woodford Reserve because it's a holiday. Oh, thank you so much for the love and support, Carrie. You are awesome, awesome. All the love in the world to you. Let's get 500 Carrie W's down below in that chat. That is seriously so freaking kind of you, dude. Welcome into Sport Trump.
Yep.
L Carrie. What's that all about?
Yep. Nothing.
It's kind of mean.
No, it's not mean.
How old are you?
18.
What year were you born in?
2007.
What month?
January.
You'd be 19.
Fuck!
There was 2.5 months that you couldn't pick. You had 9.5 months that you could have chosen from for it to line up, and you chose wrong. That's really unfortunate. Let's go to get the next guest loaded up into the box right now. This person's name is Liberal Crybaby.
We're getting at the mess he made. Joe Biden made $1.9 trillion in debt. Student Forgiveness Act. He lied to us. Where are all the student loans forgiveness? They're not. You lied. You're scapegoating. We're getting out of the mess that the Democrats gave us.
Hi.
We love Donald Trump.
Hello? Oh, this is a debate live. Why did they just leave? No, hop back in that queue. Don't be a runner. Don't be a runner. Hop back in that queue. Hello?
Oh wait, Dean.
Shut up.
What the hell, man?
Hi, baby.
Shut up.
Shut up.
How you doing, baby?
What's up, Dean? How
How you doing, baby?
Shut up.
Shut up.
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I was just letting you know I'm doing those shows in a couple days, and I wanted to call you and say hello. Just say hello. You're doing so well, man. Like, it's really infuriating, even as a baby, watching these lives sometimes. Like, how fucking stupid these people are. It's unreal.
I agree.
Shut up.
Shut up.
What the fuck?
So real. So
Yeah.
real, baby.
Unreal.
You know, I actually saw one of your posts on my For You page the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's about getting drafted into World War III.
Oh, yeah. What'd you think of that?
I just remember seeing that on my For You page. But you know what, baby? I just wanted to tell you I hope you have a good rest of your day. All right.
You too, buddy. Keep it up. I love you, Dean Withers. Talk to you later.
Okay, can I sing you my song now? Let's
Shut
have some-
up. Moving on to the next guest. We got John loading up into the box right now. Here we go. Hi, do you support
Hello.
Trump?
To a certain extent, more than Biden, though.
Okay, how old are you?
20,
What year are you born in?
2005.
2005, perfect. So if the election were held tomorrow between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, who'd you vote for?
Wait, say that again? Sorry.
What time is it?
5:07.
Okay, if the election were held tomorrow between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, who'd you vote for?
Donald Trump.
All right, let me thank like 4 people, then I'll pass you that mic, okay?
Okay.
Over on Super Chat, thank you so much, Patrick Matthews, for the $50. Thank you so much for that love, Patrick. Let's get 500 Patrick W's down below. That is so very kind of you, man. I'm so grateful for you. Show some love to Patrick, you guys. Patrick with a 50 says, I was named after St. Patrick, so it's my day, and I'm choosing to use my money to thank Dean and to say fuck Trump till the end of the time. Patrick, that is so fucking kind of you, man. Thank you so much for the support. It is your day. You know, fun fact, my middle name is Patrick. So I guess it's our day. Patrick to Patrick. Thank you so much for the love, dude. Let's get 500 Patrick W's down below. And then Count Nefera with a $10 over on YouTube says, lol, the AI overview even disagrees with him, saying that there's no evidence of an interview with 48 Biden cabinet members. Exactly. Like now the AI is contradicting itself, Count Nefera. That's why I don't like take AI as a source on my stream. And that's like super understandable, or at least it, realistically should be. Let's see here. I'd also like to quickly thank Mickey. Thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. Appreciate you for that love. Let's show some love to Mickey down below. SJ, thank you for the 10. Says you don't have to read this unless you want to. I'll keep that to myself, SJ. I love having you here. Huge shout out to you. Let's get 100 SJWs. And Lee, thank you for the $5. Leah just read your message. Don't worry, Lee. You are not old. Okay, you are not old at all. Thank you so much for the support, you guys. If you want to support me, you can find the Venmo, PayPal link tree in the bio on TikTok, my message over in that YT stream, and the handles at the top of the phone screen. Get 100% of those proceeds. You could attach a message, and I'll try my best to read it off. Go ahead, tell us how the hell you still support Trump as president. Sure.
So, completely understand that he's messed up a lot of things in his throughout his term, right? But what has Kamala Harris succeeded in her term that makes you so keen on the idea that she is a person to vote for over Trump?
Yeah, sorry, repeat that.
I understand that Donald Trump he did what he said he was gonna do on the first day. He said he was gonna close up the border, but he did recently raise up gas prices because we did go in war with Iran. And I'm just curious, what makes you so keen on the idea that Donald Trump is like a horrible politician compared to Kamala Harris? Because I'm not really sure what Kamala Harris has succeeded in doing.
I want to respond to something first, because you said that he kept all of his promises on day one by closing the border.
No, I didn't say I didn't say that. I said he kept his promise on closing up the border.
Okay, I don't even really think that he closed the border. I think that he's just scaring new undocumented entry away. But not by closing the border, but by scaring them away.
All right, well, could you answer my second question then?
What was it?
It was, what has Kamala Harris succeeded in? Yeah, what I say?
Yeah, she succeeded on running for president with a damn good agenda, on top of working her way up from being an AG to a DA to, working her way up from being an attorney to a DA to an AG to a senator to VP.
How'd you get to senator?
By running for it?
Nah, did she like marry some guy that was 30 years older than her, slept her way to the top, and then now we're supposed to elect her as our
I just want to
president?
clarify that you could have sex with someone and magically spawn in 48 million votes.
Yeah.
That's how it works. You just have sex with someone and then you just magically get 48 million people to vote for you.
You're saying this because that's how she got to that position.
No,
she literally got
obviously.
support.
So clearly true. Can I ask you another question?
Yeah, you can ask me a question.
Who's the person that she had sex with to get all those votes?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know his name.
Wait, so 48 million people knew his name and knew all about him, but you don't?
Yeah, I just saw your live stream. I just know that he was 29 years older than her.
I want to ask you a question here. Then blame that on him. Don't blame that on her. Okay, if someone were to be getting taken advantage of in that scenario, it would be her. It wouldn't be him, because he's the one that's 30 years older. But okay, next question.
Yeah, but
what state do you live in?
Who's agreeing to it?
What state do you live in?
Talking about?
Okay, so you try to use well, exactly. So you try to use it as a point against her that she was 30 years older, that he was 30 years older than her, as like some negative reflection on her. And then I'm like, okay, well, if anybody were to be getting taken advantage of in that scenario, it'd clearly be the younger person. But now that I point that simple fact out, now there's no issue with it because it was consensual. But now just answer my question. What state do you live in?
Why would you need that?
Oh, it's super relevant to the debate.
Why would I ever tell you that?
Super relevant to the debate.
How is it relevant to the debate?
Because I want to ask you if you could name 5 cities in your state and then name the mayors of those 5 cities.
I can't.
Okay, perfect. That's all I need to know. So you don't know a single mayor in your state. So how are you expecting the 48 million people that voted for Kamala Harris to be the senator of California to not just know a mayor of a city, but the mayor from San Francisco 15 years ago, Willie Brown, and know that 10 years ago, Kamala Harris had a relationship with Willie Brown that was private, and know that he was a good person, therefore they should vote for her? It is completely nonsensical to suggest that because Kamala Harris had a relationship with an ex-mayor of one city from 15 years ago, that influenced 48 million people to vote for her, given the fact that vast majority of people don't know, like, their mayor, more or less any mayor from any city in their state, including you.
All right, so can I just use an example? You might think it's irrelevant, but just I'm gonna use this example and you tell me whether or not you like it or not. All right. So I'm from this country. I don't know if you know it or not. It's Albania. You know that country?
Yes, I've heard of Albania before.
Okay. So it used to be a communist like dictatorship, pretty much like North Korea, right? The guy who was elected as a dictator.
Communist dictatorship. Those two things are contradictory, but whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah. This guy, right, wasn't smart. He just served in the war. That's literally the only reason. He was a Muslim, which literally did not help his case, because back then it just did not help his case. And he was just there, right time, right place, and he got elected. And I think that it's the same thing with Kamala Harris. It's not like she is a wonderful genius that understands politics to a level in which you should vote for her, because she just slept to the top.
Trump. Yeah, just reposit that she slept. Just reposit that she slept her way to the top, and it'll make it true. No, listen, man. Here's what you are struggling with. You're a misogynist, and you can't deal with the fact that women have been more successful than you.
No,
So
I
then
don't.
when they are more successful than you, you just say that they got there by having sex with men.
That's hilarious. Because what did I say that was misogynist?
Yes, by saying that she slept her way to the top with no evidence whatsoever.
That's
even
what he
after
did.
That argument
No,
being
that's what
disputed by
she did.
myself. I've already
No,
described to
she
you it's not
literally
true that she
slept
slept her
with
way to the top whatsoever. You didn't even
She
know who she
slept-
slept with or what position he served. I've
You want
actually
me to search
already
it up? 'Cause it's
I've
kinda
actually
irrelevant, the
I've actually
name. Like,
already
I
told you
know-
his name
Okay.
and what he did.
Okay.
Can you repeat what his name was and what
he
he
was
did?
like the senator of California. No.
I told you twice that he was the ex-mayor of San Francisco.
Oh man, I don't see. This is what you're not understanding.
These are all
I
like
don't
really
care.
important details. Well, you should care because it's relevant to the argument that you're making. Her having a relationship with an ex-mayor of one city 15 years ago would not influence a single soul to vote for her today, and definitely couldn't influence the 48 million Californian citizens that did vote for her to put her name on the ballot in the booth. Okay? That's
Well,
bullshit. And I've proven that
me
to be
personally-
bullshit because you can't name a single mayor from any city in the state where you live. So why are you expecting 48 million people to not just be able to name a mayor from the state in which they live in, but a mayor from a city 15 years ago, have a positive view of that mayor, then know that Kamala Harris was in a relationship with him 10 years ago, and then somehow it lead to them therefore having a positive view of her, right? It's just unrealistic. It's total sexism. Like, let me just ask you this question. Do you think that men are better at leading than women?
See, I'm gonna answer this, and you're gonna directly like start saying that I'm wrong or something like this. Honestly, it just I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, like I said, you're just sexist. There you go. Thank you for proving my point.
No. Wait, can I keep talking? Why? Historically, men have been the leaders of the world, and that's why I believe it. I'm not saying a woman leader can't happen. I'm pretty sure there's a German president or leader. She was really good, but most of the time, men lead countries better.
Okay. And your argument that most of the time men lead countries better is the fact that most leaders historically have been men?
Yeah. And
that argument doesn't follow.
much. How doesn't it follow?
Because it reduces down to the principle that if one group of people dominate in any given field, like men dominating in leadership, that therefore men are better at leadership. But I could give you an example where this logic doesn't track. Men have dominated in leadership. Another field that men have dominated in is surgery. A vast majority of all surgeons for all time have been men. Today, 85% of surgeons are men and 15% are women. Yet, women surgeons significantly outperform men surgeons. If you're operated on by a female compared to a male, you're less likely to die as a result of your surgery, and you're less likely to experience negative postoperative outcomes. Even though it's true, men have always and still today dominate to a significant disproportionate extent.
Okay. Well,
and this refutes the principle that if a group of people dominate in a field, especially if that group of people is men, that therefore they're better at performing in that field. Do you see how this extends to the whole men dominate in leadership and have historically, therefore they're better? Okay, this doesn't follow.
I see, like, you're saying this right now, and I completely understand where you're coming from. But there is a difference between leadership and what you were talking about.
Well, why? Okay, well then the issue that you're struggling with here is
and
the
I'm
fact
not
that you're
saying that women can't be leaders.
Then you're just special pleading. You're saying, well, when men dominate in surgery, that doesn't mean that they're better at surgery. When men dominate in engineering, that doesn't mean that men are better at engineering. When men dominate in construction, that doesn't mean that they're better at construction. When men dominate in professorship, that doesn't mean that they're better at professorship.
If you want to go to construction, then men have...
But when men dominate in leadership, apparently only in this sense does it mean that they're better at leadership. Okay? So why is male domination of a field only therefore point towards the conclusion that men are better at performing in that field when it's leadership, but nothing else? I don't feel like you'll understand the question.
Yeah, I find it really ironic that you keep on like muting me. I don't know why you keep doing that. We get it. You're trying to get your point across. if you wanted to go into construction and saying that men aren't better at construction than women, I'm like 95% sure that 99% of people who work in construction are men, and they are better and outperform women.
Why do you think men outperform?
I could outperform a woman.
So why do you believe that men
construction.
outperform a women in construction?
Because they have better raw strength.
Okay. All right. Well, then I don't even need to engage in the argument because the reason that you gave wasn't that they dominate in the field. So we could talk about that.
That's
claim
the
after we
reason
talk about
why
the
they
claim of
dominate.
leadership.
No, in construction specifically, that's why they dominate. Because
Why would you argue that men dominate in surgery even though women outperform?
I
men
didn't
in
argue
surgery?
that. You're the one who brought it up. I don't know what you're talking about. Bringing surgery in it.
Well, it's a
saying
descriptive
that-
fact that men dominate in surgery. 85% of surgeons are men. So why do you think that men dominate in surgery when they're worse at it?
Say that because they're better. This is what you're making
Wait,
these statistics
you
up.
have no
I don't
brain.
see a single.
One second. You affirmed less than 10 minutes ago that women are better at surgery than men, but now you're arguing that men are better at surgery than women.
Yeah,
So which one is it?
Stop. Nah, I find it so funny. You just keep on muting me. I never said I'm just
you know,
saying.
don't get emotional. Which one
I'm
is
not. But okay, I'm saying men are better at the fields that they dominate in.
it?
Obviously.
So then why do you think they're better at surgery when we have like the most reliable study of all time to demonstrate they aren't?
Where's the study?
The American Medical Association in conjunct with the Journal of the American Medical Association.
All right, let me see that. Wait, give me 1 second. Can you give me exact, like, say it one more time. Where is it from?
The American Medical Association in conjunct with the Journal of the American Medical Association. You could take a look by going on Google. It is PMCID PMC 104-69289. Or you could just go on Google and type in "do women outperform men in surgery" and it will say yes. And you'll get a bunch of studies. It is like the most reliably proven conclusion ever. Like there's no winning here. In fact, while he's personally looking it up on his own computer, I kind of want to show all the viewers something. And this is like great. This is super great. Let me turn on my display capture real quick. Give me one moment here. Let me actually just like preload this up. Perfect. All right, look at this. So what I typed in here is, do women outperform men in surgery? Okay. First thing that pops up is, women surgeons, are they better? Female surgeons consistently receive higher patient scores. Next thing is this surgeon sex and long-term post-operative outcome among patients undergoing common surgeries. You scroll down. The results are, among all of these studies, the patients had better outcomes when they were operated on by women compared to men. Okay, right, you go down to the very next thing that pops up on the screen. It says female surgeons have lower rates of long-term adverse health effects when operating on patients. And then Guardian, same thing. Patients have better health outcomes with female surgeons. Now, even if we want to change this claim, let's say, do men outperform women in surgery, we'll actually just see that AI says no, and then that's actually corroborated by the Journal of the American Medical Association, which demonstrates through the comparison of male and female surgeons' experience with gender across 5 qualitative/quantitative domains that women outperform men. Same thing with this systemic review. Female surgeons have a lower mortality rate compared to those that were treated by male surgeons. That same Guardian article, you have Rutgers, Women in Surgery, Increasing Numbers and Influence, which once again likely goes over that same fact. That there's better outcomes when you're operated on by a woman, right? It's just like, it's a fact that you can't deny, that no one can deny. And I expect you to apologize for such a brash, misogynistic claim with at least 5 tears and 1 ukulele. Please.
What are you talking about? Some ukulele?
Yeah, I want 5 tears and a ukulele for an apology.
I'm gonna give you money because I lost the debate.
I mean, you can if you want. I never said money. I said 5 tears.
You think I lost the debate, but I genuinely think that men are better leaders than women. I'm not saying women can't be great leaders.
Well, before we go back to the leadership thing, you said that they're better surgeons, but I've definitely proven that one false, right?
This is what I don't understand. Why'd you bring up surgeons? Because I know for a fact surgery and being a leader are completely different things. Because having authority and being able to keep a needle still, completely different things.
What's the connection between these two things? The connection was that you're arguing men are better at leading because more leaders are men. Well, more surgeons are men, yet they're worse at it. So just because men dominate in a field doesn't mean they're better. Okay, I'll just run away. Proving the weakness of the male ego by running away. If men were truly better at leading than women, then we wouldn't expect you as a man to get hurt, get bruised, and run away with your tail in between your legs. Guess you're hurt and bruised. Well, make sure when you go to the hospital for your injuries that you request a woman. Let's go and get that next guest loaded up into the box because that guy couldn't handle it. Only up inside of the queue of your MAGA. Only up inside of the queue of your MAGA. Oh my God. Ooh! All right, let's go to get the next guest loaded up in here. You know, Liam, I wasn't going to bring you up because I debated you yesterday on politics, but I've never debated you on what you think about women in positions of leadership. Do you believe that women are worse at leading than men?
Yes, I do, actually.
I got to talk to you about it, Liam. Why do you think that men are better at leading than women?
I think that women are better at guiding, men are better at leadership. I think that what you guys were just talking about as far as surgery goes, I think that would be like ingrained in the fiber of what women really are. Women are the ones that bring life into this world. So they would inherently be better at preserving life. I think that that goes with just the way that God made women. But you yourself would have to tell me that men are just as good. Wait, stop laughing. Let me finish, bro, so you could present your argument. I believe that you would have to say under your worldly world misunderstanding of what men and women are, you would have to say that trans men would they be great surgeons as well? Because they would be women, right? So would they fall under the category of female surgeons, even though they're biological males?
So first and foremost, in having a conversation about well, let's see if you clocked me. Let me respond. So first and foremost, in having a conversation about are men better at leading than women, especially in the context that I want you to give your argument that they are, because I disagree with you, I'm pre-assuming your definitions of what a man and a woman are for the...
No, you're not. No. I'm looking at your worldview. Don't do that.
Yeah. I'm going to respond to your critique of my worldview here in a moment. I just got to get this out.
Good try, though, bro. I like that. Yeah, I like how you pivoted.
I'm almost done. It's not a pivot.
Threw the goalpost over at me, but go ahead, Dean Withers. Yeah.
I appreciate that. So first and foremost, when we're having a conversation about why you think men are better at leading than women, I'm assuming your definitions of the word man and woman, male and female, okay? Because it just makes the debate easier. Now, for your question about trans men are biologically female, trans women are biologically male. We would expect trans men to be slightly better at surgery than trans women on average. Yeah, that's a fact. Now, because trans people account for only 1% of the total population, still yet we'd see a general propensity for women to outperform men in surgery, since the vast majority of women are cis. Now, please tell me why you think that men are better at leading than women.
I just told you under that view, but I'll tell you why. I'll tell you another one. Statistics show that if you
that wasn't a reason why you thought that men are better at leading than women.
There's a lot of different reasons, but one would be statistics show that if you drop a man and a woman off in the middle of nowhere and they had to find their way back to, just say, civilization, statistics show that men are better at directions. They're taking directions. So then as far as, I would say a little bit more dominant as far as physicality goes, that this would ring true as well. To live off the land maybe a bit easier. Not in all cases, because there's some feminine men, for sure. But definitely, you can search it up and find out that men are definitely better at directions than women. just slightly.
Okay. I'm just I'm waiting for you to tell me why you think that men are better at leading than women. I'm writing these points down.
Yeah, I just told you by directions.
Wait, like being able to like use some like sense of like an innate like compass in their mind. How does that make them better at leading? Like
I
even
don't
if that
mean,
wouldn't
like-
be true. Or like
I don't
I'm
mean
sorry.
following-
Like I don't even like need to fact check that. Let's just assume that what you're saying is true. Studies demonstrate that men have a slight edge over women on average when it would come to innate directional ability for like whatever like sexual dimorphic fact of human anatomy and neuroscience. Why would that make them better at leading?
Because they're better at following directions for one thing.
Wait, no, you're equivocating between like how you're using the word direction here. Like we mean like literal direction, north, south, east, and west. Not better at following like direction, like some like other sense of like doing the rational thing as directed by your advisor, right? But like once again, assuming that you're right, that men have a slightly better innate sense of literal direction, north, south, east, and west on average compared to women. Why would this make them better at leading?
I mean, they're all different points. So people are very like.
Yeah, but like, why would this one play into like the
wait.
slew of why they're better at leading at all, right? This is
You can't just. I mean, you can't just cherry pick to one thing about.
But I'm
men
asking
and
you
women.
how it's relevant in the slightest.
Do you believe men and women are different?
I believe that there's sexual dimorphism that is true of male and females, right? And we are assuming that the definitions of the word man and woman here are male and female, because those are how you define the terms, how you use them, and you're the one making the claim that men are better at leading than women. Therefore, you're making the claim that males are better at leading than females. And so I don't like throw you off into a scorn about how trans women aren't women for the next 30 minutes, and I want to stay on topic. I am assuming your definitions of women and men, and it is absolutely true that there are sexually dimorphic traits that vary amongst males and females. Okay, and I'd actually argue that these sexually dimorphic traits are what give women an upper hand on average as it would relate to making decisions motivated by rationale and less emotion, compared to men who I believe are more likely to make decisions motivated by emotion compared to rationale. Okay, but once again, I'm asking you to give your argument that reasonably concludes that men are better at leading than women, and the only data point in which you've been able to parrot so far is the fact that you think men maybe have a little bit more of like an innate ability to understand direction in the sense of north, south, east, and west compared to women. Okay, right? But even if that were to be true, like I haven't even fact checked that claim, I don't think that it would be relevant to one's leadership ability in the slightest. Like this is like saying, oh, this person likes the color purple more than the color blue, therefore they're going to be better at leading than the person that likes the color blue more than the purple color. More than the color purple, right? Like clearly, like your favorite color probably isn't indicative.
Yeah.
Of
So
how
okay.
good
So
of a
extreme.
leader you are, just like you're like a slight edge of being able to navigate
Let me
north,
help
south,
you out.
east, and west.
Let me help you out. So, Kristi Noem, were you a fan? Did you think Kristi Noem did a great job?
Pickles, I appreciate you so much for the Viking hammer. No, I'm not a fan of Kristi Noem, but also when we're having a conversation on if men are better at leading than women or women are better at leading than men, this wouldn't be a conversation indexed or referenced to one specific woman or one specific man. It would more so be a general conversation about what is generally true of all men compared to what is generally true of all women.
Yeah, so I'm just asking you, in a case like, let's take Tom Holman and the medal that was put around his neck under the Barack Obama's term.
Okay, I'm still waiting for the argument so far.
Wait
Why do
a
you think that men
minute,
are better
now
at
you're
leading than
cutting
women?
me off because you know you're going to get cornered again.
Just know that you have to give me an argument for why men are better at leading than women.
So who was better at immigration, Kristi Noem or Tom Holman? I didn't make a joke.
I would argue that they both suck. But like I once again want to re-demonstrate the point that like one specific woman or one specific man.
You see the muting, ladies and gentlemen? You saw that, right?
Because I don't want you to interrupt me, and you're now interrupting me.
No, you were interrupting me. I'm making the strong point.
You're asking me a question.
And you know that you're like, oh my gosh, I have to say that a man was better at immigration, okay? And you have to.
Let me respond, Liam. I don't know enough about Kristi Noem or Tom Holman beyond the fact that they both suck because they further the terrible agenda of Trump. Okay? But as I've already told you, and I'll repeat again, a conversation about one man's specific leadership ability compared to one woman's specific leadership ability is completely irrelevant to an evaluation on if generally
Stop it for a minute, dude. You're filibustering now.
It's not a filibuster, or if women are better at leading than men. It is absolutely true that some men are better at leading than some women, just like it is simultaneously also absolutely true that some women are absolutely better at leading than some men. we could both like point out examples of like men in history that were better at leading than other women in history. Just like I could point out examples of certain women in history that were better at leading than some men in history. But a conversation about specific individuals is completely irrelevant to a debate on if generally is one gender better at leading than another gender. Okay? So once again, about your question comparing Kristi Noem and the other bald guy that got the Medal of whatever from Obama, it is completely irrelevant to you giving me an argument, okay, that men are better at leading than women, because even if Tom Homan were to be better at leading than Kristi Noem, which could possibly be true, I don't know, I just think they both suck, this wouldn't tell us that men are better at leading than women. Just like if I was able to point out to you that Kamala Harris was better at leading than Donald Trump, which is definitely true, that doesn't tell us that women are better at leading than men, because Kamala Harris isn't a monolith for all women, Donald Trump isn't a monolith for all men, Kristi Noem isn't a monolith for all women, and Tom Homan isn't a monolith for all men. So do you now understand here how this debate, which just surrounds like individual identifications of one woman or one man, is completely irrelevant towards you furthering your argument that generally men are better at leading than women?
I know that what you want to do is you want credible sources, and you want to go, what are the numbers? What do they show? What do we do? But I know we talk about politics a lot. And all I wanted to do, let's just stick with the Conservative Party, okay? And
I want you to give an argument for your claim that men are better at leading than women. That's why I brought you up.
And I am. And
Good boy.
I'm trying to show the hypocrisy here coming from you. You have
No. Don't try to show hypocrisy. Give an argument that men are better at leading than women. That's what I want. That's why I brought you up. That's the claim that you made.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm showing you.
Go ahead.
Okay, if you look at the credentials of Kristi Noem versus Tom Homan.
Good boy.
You're looking really bad right now, dude. You've been muting me constantly and talking over me. That's just an automatic W for me.
Wait, a man is looking bad, therefore men are worse at leading, right?
Are you a man?
Yeah.
What is a man?
Well, I told you, we're pre-assuming your definitions of the words men and women.
You tell me what is your definition of a man?
If I share my definition of the word man with you, then it will become a debate about trans people and gender identity, not about general leadership ability as it would relate to one's sex. And this is a debate about one's general leadership ability as it would relate to one's sex, not a debate about trans people or gender identity. Give the argument that males are better at leading than females.
Can you give me your definition of what a male is in 3 words?
My God.
No, can you do that?
In 3 words, no. Why are you laughing at that?
Oh my God.
No one can define the word male in 3 words.
You can't define what a human adult male is? There's
not in 3 words.
Male.
No one can define what a male is in 3 words. Not even you.
Is a child an adult?
Wait, one second. No, a child is not an adult. But you asked me to define the word male in less than 3 words. No one can do that. That is literally impossible to do.
Okay, so
you do it. You define the word male in 3 words. You do it.
What is a male? A human?
In 3 words or less.
A human, adult, male.
Circular. You can't define a male and then use the word male in the definition of the word male. Failed.
But what we're doing here is you're
No. You failed. You can't use the word male in the definition of the word male. No one can define the word male in less than 3 words. It's actually kind of a nuanced definition, because first your mind would jump to XY chromosomes, right? But then you have to account for like Swyer syndrome and different intersex conditions, in which can make somebody chromosomally female but phenotypically male. And then you have to be able to account for like phenotypically intersex conditions to do with like both the presence of the vagina and the penis, or even like other forms of like identification in which would fail. So like, no, you can't define the word male in 3 words, because it is like incredibly nuanced, and because of intersex conditions that can be chromosomal and or phenotypical, it's not something that could be condensed to 3 words.
Yeah, but the thing is, what we're getting at, this is all the social construct conversation, okay? And where you get lost in the weeds is if somebody was hit by a car, okay? And let's say they went into the emergency room and they put him down on the gurney, they put him down on the bed there, and they said, hey, this person is pregnant. and they pulled the cover off and looked, and the man had a scrotum and testicles, do you think that they would look and see if that person was pregnant? They would have to test or go, oh my gosh, here's testicles and a scrotum. They wouldn't even need to test for pregnancy, right?